The next piece that I'm going to share with you, I introduced a number of concepts in the first number of lectures, put it within the economic context of what was going on. But I want to be really, really basic and simple. It's foundational. The question is, how does a company make money? How do they make money? This is application project 1, and let's go through it so you know what you need to do by May 24th. So how does a company make money? Well, in a very simplistic way, they need to sell something for a price. So in the case of GENSESEO Coffee Company, they sell pounds of coffee for a price per pound. So if you know how many pounds are sold and the revenue, then you could determine how much each pound was sold for. And in reverse, if you knew how many pounds were sold of coffee and what the average price was, you should be able to determine total sales. So in GENSESEO Coffee Company, as you've already seen, is they buy beans, they roast beans, they sell beans, and they get paid. So it's all volume, though, based on pounds of coffee and price per pound. Okay? Now, second, they make what they sell, and that costs money. The company makes money when they bring in more cash than they're paying to produce the product. That's profit. Okay? So you sell something, and there's always, in every case, there's a volume and a price for that unit. Some companies are very big and have multiple businesses with multiple volume drivers. The businesses I identified for you to work on here all have pretty much singular. 90% is all computable based on a volume and a driver. So they sell something, quite straightforward. There's a value. In the case of GENSESEO Coffee Company, it's pounds of coffee and a price per pound. Gives us total revenue. Total revenue divided by pounds sold is going to give us how much we sold each pound for. Make sense? So if a company wants to make more money, okay, think about this for a second, what would they do? Well, first thing is you grow sales. How do you grow sales? Well, in the case of GENSESEO Coffee Company, you sell more coffee, more beans, and that's the volume, poundage. Or you increase the price of the beans. It's the only way you're going to grow revenue. You could look at the cost side and produce the same amount of beans at a lower cost, or produce more beans at the same or lower cost. If we produce more beans, we sell more, and our cost per unit goes up, we lose. Okay? So when you're thinking about this is, okay, if you want to make more money and the firm wants to be sustainable, they tend to need to make more money. They need to increase volume or increase the price of the beans or the unit cost. Okay? But you can only, when it's come down to the cost, you can only control so much in costs. But if you're going to grow a business, it has to grow in sales. Seems straightforward? Hopefully. Hopefully you got it. To understand a company truly and how they make money, it's very, very important, but we need to be very granular. I want you, for the first part of this project, step 1, is to take and identify a volume and price indicator that and they vary for each business. Each business can be a little bit different. Okay. So step 1 is determine the volume and rate drivers for each of the following companies. Okay. So you're going to determine what's the rate, what's the volume. Now, remember, case of GENSESEO Coffee Company, what we have is pounds of coffee, price per pound equals sales. So I want you to look at these 4 companies, JetBlue, Molson Coors, Fiesta Taco, O'Reilly Auto, and figure out what are their volume and rate drivers for each of these companies. Okay? Now, what are the mechanics? Where do I get this information is the first question. We talked about the 10K and investor presentation. So you want to go there to find this information. How do you want this information presented? Well, I'd like you to use the Excel worksheet that is posted. Okay. Next question, where do I post it? Post it in the folder under Module 1 entitled Post Application Project 1 here. Okay. So those are the mechanics of Part 1. Now, how do I know if what I did is correct? Okay, because you want to know you're going to get 6 points, and 6 points is a pretty big deal. You want to know that you got it right. Okay, you got to check your work. If you check your work, you'll know you're correct when you multiply your volume driver by the rate driver, and the product equals the majority of the company's sales. Won't be 100%, but you'll be close. Okay, so check your work. If it isn't that, you need to think about it, walk it through, or ask me a question. I'll help you. What else do you need to get started here? Because remember, we're putting this in the concept of a firm. And what else do you need to get started down this finance path? Well, you need to understand a couple of more things. One, what are the company's products and services sold? Everybody sells something. But what are the products and services sold by the company? Think about it is, you need to be able to describe it easy enough. Who are the company's customers? Think carefully. Not always is the customer the end user. Okay? What makes this company unique or different from somebody else? There's always something. And what are the company's sales and net income trend for the past 3 years? So those are the 4 pieces of step 2 in what we're doing. For each company, prepare 2 slides that show the above information. 6 points. Total assignment is worth 12. It should be well organized. Don't need massive amounts of detail. Put your detail in the note section. Sample of a project that I did. You might want to think about it as a format for how you explain those 4 questions. First thing is I have my name of my company, Destination XL. I list the stock symbol, and a stock symbol is an identifier made up of both an assortment of letters that identifies the company when it's publicly traded. So this happens to be traded on NASDAQ, DXLC. There's a picture of what they are. You can see the sales. You can see how it went from 2015 to 2017. And here's the net income. Well, in this case, it's a loss. So this is the first piece of the picture. Next thing, when I'm telling you about it, is that's a unique customer. So I'm looking at this in this quadrant up here. What I did is they have a unique customer. Their customer is men of all ages, waist size 38 and up. Okay, so big, generally tall people. Could be round, could be fat, everything. But these customers within this value convenience, comfort, selection, and fit over price. So their advantage is it's a unique customer who is not as much price sensitive. They have the largest selection of big and tall brands around. And you can look at the brands that they have here, and you could see that's a broad band. If you look at their competitors are Walmart, Target, Macy's, who don't have the variety in large sizes. This can be people who are tall too. So if you're 6'3", 6'4", finding pants that fit from the seat to the bottom, the cuff, is really hard. So these are fit. Okay. What they do is they have wide aisles, large changing rooms, very well trained staff. They have a bright atmosphere, and on-site tailoring, and they have 345 stores. So those 2 slides essentially show everything you need to know about what that company is. The next thing I put in, and you don't have to do this right now, but what are their strategies that they're using for success? And in this case, they have some stores that used to be known as Casual Male, XL, and Rochester Clothing. They're converting them all to Destination XL. That enables them to put all the brands under one roof, one-stop shopping, wider variety, better physical layout, highly trained staff. They offer a variety of products, value priced, which are good, moderate price, which are better, and high-end luxury, which are best. Some of the other things they're doing, they're leveraging website to drive sales. Target end of rack customers. These are people waist 38 to 46. Shop 41% more than 48 inches and up. They also spend twice as much as bigger guys. They're expanding to new markets, smaller store, expand to markets not currently in, and building brand awareness. So that's Destination XL. It's just a brief look at a sample. So when you go to put your four companies together, look at this as a model. Okay, why is this stuff important? Why are we doing it? Well, everything in the future of a firm is dependent on increasing sales. It's used in the decision-making process, both internal to the organization and external. Internally, it's used for resource capital allocation, compensation, for planning. Externally, it's used for resource, capital allocation, comp and planning internally, as I said. External use it to make a credit decision. Somebody's going to lend money to the firm, or can make an investment decision. I'm going to buy the stock. I'm going to buy the company. So you're making decisions, and decisions are always going to be around what the company can do. That's why it's important to do this. So this sounds the foundation, because I think as you're going to start to see, everything else rolls from this. Okay? Basically, in a summary, application project 1 is worth 12 points. Each section is worth 6. It's due the end of the day on Thursday, May 24th, 2018. Grading is based on presentation, clarity and ease to follow, and accuracy. If you're not sure, contact me for help. Thanks. If you've got questions, let me know. Oh, fudge. Shit.